A demonic satanic trend is growing among single women, and that is they are now sleeping with their dogs. I know that might sound crazy, but there's a huge number of single women who are now sleeping with their dogs. And that's a demonic spirit. That's a demonic spirit that is encouraging them to start partaking in bestiality. And the reason for that is because when you do not want be to submit under a man, then you are going to take any measures to satisfy yourself. So when you start being addicted to porn, there'll always be something new that you want to try out, and eventually there comes a point whereby they end up sleeping with their dogs. And I'm saying this to all the people, whether men or women, because in some countries like Pakistan, Afghanistan, they sleep with the goats. So it's a growing trend across the world whereby human beings are now sleeping with animals, including horses. And this is something that a lot of people don't speak on. But when they die and they meet the Lord, they are cast out of his kingdom, out of his presence, because it is very, very disgusting. It is very satanic. That's why if you are secretly sleeping with your dog, I encourage you to pray and fast against this spirit. It's a huge demonic spirit for you to now start seeing animals as potential sex partners. So I want you guys to understand that when you have sex with a dog, there's something that happens to your spirit. The same way that when the angels had sex with the human beings, the demons came about, the Nephilims came about. So even though the women don't get pregnant whilst having sex with the dogs, the fact that they are intertwining with the dogs sexually, something is happening to them spiritually. That's why I encourage men, pray before you marry a woman, because they do this in secret. More especially the ones that have huge dogs and they sleep with those dogs. Okay, so beware guys, when you see a woman like tongue kissing a dog and stuff, that's not normal. For someone to allow their lips to like um be in contact with a dog and the dog is busy licking and stuff, the things that these ladies do, it's because they don't want to submit to a man, and they have this crazy like list of a man has to do this and that and that. When their delusion goes against them, then they get desperate. Okay, then they want the dog to start licking their private parts. That's how it usually starts. It starts with the dog licking their private parts, and then from there on, it goes deeper. All of a sudden, they're doing certain things with their dogs. Okay, so I'm encouraging you guys, please do not give in to any demonic spirit. Do not open any door for any demonic spirit, because once you open the door, you go deep into whatever the demonic spirit wants you to go deep into. So if you start watching porn, that's not where you're going to end. If you start smoking a cigarette, that's not where you're going to end. If you start smoking beer, that's not where you're going to end. You're going to want something stronger as time goes on. Okay, so when you open the door of you allowing your dog to kiss you in the mouth and stuff like that, eventually you start getting ideas, because you're not even allowed to do that as a human being, to kiss a dog. Okay, so when you see this type of things, there's a spirit that is coming in you. So I encourage you guys, stop allowing your dogs to lick you in your lips and doing all of this. It is satanic. It's a ritual. Something is happening to you spiritually. Okay, and I know a lot of stories of women, more especially from Africa and across the world, who go to Dubai, and the rich Arabic people, they pay them to sleep with their dogs. So some of these dogs are not even dogs, they are actually demons in dog form. So they go there and they get lots and lots of money to sleep with a dog, to sleep with a pit bull. Some of them, they sleep with camels. Some of them, they sleep with horses. Some of the men, like in Arabic countries, they sleep with goats and cows. It is crazy what people are doing. If you decide to not want Christ, there's no limit to what the demons will lead you to do. So you'll end up sleeping with dogs. You'll end up doing crazy things that are going to tarnish your soul. That's why some of these ladies can no longer have kids. They can no longer fall pregnant. And you think that maybe it's because their bodies. No, it's because when they were growing up, they used to sleep with their own dog. They used to sleep with their own dog, and they used to do crazy things like tongue kissing dogs. It is demonic. It's the same thing like an angel sleeping with a human being. It's the same thing. It's not cute. It's not nice. It's not because you love the dog. It is something satanic. Okay? So I'm encouraging you guys, if you have a tendency of kissing your dog in the mouth and allowing it to lick your lips and stuff like that, stop that. Eventually a spirit will come into you to a point whereby when you're by yourself at your flat and you're lonely and you're horny and you see your dog, you will now want your dog to start licking you. And then from licking, you'll start wanting to experiment and do crazy things. And trust me when I tell you that most of the time you will never be caught. You will never be caught. But guess what? When you meet the Lord, He will know everything that you did in secret. Okay? So I'm encouraging you guys, stop kissing your dogs in the mouth. Stop allowing this demonic addiction to control you, because it leads to hell. When you do this to your dog, it is doing something to your spirit. Satan has many accusations against you, because God will ask you, like, did I create dogs for you to sleep with them? And you will say no, and then He'll say, depart from me, for I never knew you, you worker of iniquity. Okay, so I'm encouraging you guys, more especially you guys who are doing this in secret, because most of the time you never get caught. You will never get caught. It's something that people do secretly, just like similar to masturbation. There's very few people who are ever caught masturbating. But if you are doing this in secret, please stop. Fast against this spirit. It's a spirit. It's a spirit of a dog that is coming in you to a point whereby you now want to sleep with a dog. You now want to do crazy things with the dog. You want to touch the dog sexually, and you want to do all of those things. It will destroy you spiritually. You understand? Because when you do it physically, you might take safety measures, put a condom on the dog, whatever you might try to do to prevent diseases and stuff. But spiritually, it's making your spirit to be dirty, and demons are coming in you. So when you have a human being sleeping with an animal, it is destroying you spiritually. That's why you usually find that the people who start doing this, down the line, they become full-blown Satanists, because a spirit is coming into you. Understand? And in most cases, this is happening in Europe and in Asia and in Middle East. Why? Because in Japan, for example, they sleep a lot with dogs. The young women, they sleep a lot with dogs, because it's a country whereby they don't want to socialize. So when you start partaking in activities that are not linked with human beings but with animals, then a spirit comes into you, including sex. Oral sex, licking private parts and doing all of those things. When you do that, a spirit comes into you, including when you're watching porn and doing all of these things. A spirit is coming into you. And trust me when I tell you that when you die, you'll regret ever doing that. So when you're struggling with bestiality or with sexual immorality, or doing demonic sexual possessions, more especially this one, the sexual possessions and oral sex, because even married people, they justify it because they say, we are married, we're not cheating on each other. Yes, you are married. The way that you're supposed to have sex is that you are missionary, you're supposed to face your person, and that's it. Don't bring toys, don't start performing demonic activities and positions. It will cause you to be judged in the afterlife. Okay, so doggy in this bedroom is not what human beings are supposed to do. That's what dogs do. That's what horses do. So don't do this sexual position, and also stop sleeping with dogs. And I know some of you might find this funny or whatever, but trust me when I tell you that there's a large number of people across the world, more especially in Asia and in Europe, that are doing these things. Okay, and the Middle East, they don't sleep with dogs but goats and all of these things. And some people go through rituals and they get a goblin that comes in the form of a dog or a cat sometimes, but it's usually dogs. Okay, so I encourage you guys, fight this demonic spirit. If you are addicted to this, fight it with fasting and prayer. It will go away eventually. Just don't think that it's normal. Okay, please wake up. Do not be deceived. Seek the Lord on a daily basis and you shall be free. Jesus Christ is Lord.